Extra now. This is an extension of Good Morning Uganda. Just to remind you, every weekday we are here to kickstart your morning with relevant information that you need to know as you kickstart your day. So why not make it a date with us? 6:30, the Fantastic Four are here to put those smiles to take you through what happened and of course to set the agenda. Robert KIrabo Nyonyitono, I'm your host. And this morning, I'm going to be discussing something very interesting to many people. Well, it is the establishment of Service Uganda centers. Now, when we talk about this, was established in 2019, if my memory serves me right, and it's something that has been around, like when we usually talk about one-stop center. I see people who have shopping malls, I see people who have supermarkets, even Uganda Investment Authority came up with a one-stop center. You walk into that, you have everything done and dealt with. But I'm not the person to speak about this. I have two guests with whom we are going to be discussing this. I have Matovu Kenneth, a management analyst. Kenneth, you're most welcome.
Thank you, Robert.
It's a pleasure having you once again. Some time has passed.
The pleasure is mine. Good morning, Uganda. Good morning, dear clients. I bring you greetings from the Ministry of Public Service.
Then just next to me is a lady smartly dressed in green, and that is a team Jacqueline, also a management analyst. Jacqueline, you're most welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning, viewers.
And this now takes me to Kenneth. First, let's begin by having a background to this. When we talk about establishment of Service Uganda Center, what is this first and foremost? Let's understand what we are talking about.
Thank you, Robert. When we talk about Service Uganda, the common business language we all know is one-stop centers. This is a physical location where you locate into and seek all the services, programs, and activities of government of Uganda. Our aim here is to, one, reduce on the cost of doing business, and also satisfy our customers basing on prompt service delivery. We are reducing on red tape. So if we walked into a building like this one, we're in studio now, how happy would you be if you walked in here and you get information about the Ministry of Health, about the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Lands, Water, everything called government service. Find it in one place. Walk in and walk out with delight. Thank you.
Atim, when were these established, and why are we seeing more that's at this time that we are carrying out this sensitization?
Thank you. The Service Uganda centers were approved by Cabinet in 2019, and Cabinet took a decision to establish 19 regional centers all through the country. And the intention is that a person shouldn't be moving from up country to come and seek services in the center where the headquarters of the different ministries are, that this person should be able to receive their services in Arua if they are in West Nile. If a person is in Kabale, they don't need to travel all the way, they can seek the services there. And also the districts that are around those regional centers can be able to seek them in maybe the next district without having to travel. So the intention is that the services will reduce the cost that the person incurs in terms of time, as well as their transport fares. And when Cabinet took this decision, the very first center to be established is the one that was established in Kasese municipality. And so many services that are provided in the local governments are received in that center. For example, if you walked in and you needed to handle your URA issues, pay your TREP payments, if you need to do your registration URSB, you can do it in the same place. And then there are also other private services within that support government to carry out business. For example, you can have a bank proximal to that center. We also have other centers, pilot centers, like right now there's that in Jinja, Mbale, we have in Lira, we have in Entebbe, and these are coming up as pilot centers. Even the Ministry of Public Service has one currently that provides services that belong to the Ministry of Public Service, for example, salaries, structures, job descriptions. If you would like information on the procurements within the ministry, you can access them within that center of the ministry.
Now, Kenneth, 2019, we're in 2023. What has been the progress of these centers?
In 2019, Cabinet approved the establishment of these centers. And the 19 that my colleague has just talked about, I can confidently say Kasese is up and running. Hoima is a new baby. It's now on board. We've had Entebbe Municipality, the Service Uganda Center there is up and running. So citizens living in Entebbe, when they want to access URA services, they want to know about the tourism information in the country, they don't have to go to Wildlife Authority, they don't have to go to URA in Nakawa. All these services are in Entebbe. We have a mini service center at the Ministry of Public Service. If you want information about your pensions, your salaries, gratuity, structures, systems, records, all these are housed in the mini Service Uganda Center in the Ministry of Public Service. So the reform is up and running, and soon we shall be getting to the different regions. We have Arua, we have Lira, we have Jinja, Mbale, Soroti, we are coming.
Now, let's look at public welcomings, perception of these centers. What has been the turn-up? Because government can have infrastructure, can have the staff there. But do people know these centers? Are they no longer going through these tiresome journeys, and yet what they are looking for is just within? Because sometimes I visit public service, and you'll find that with these centers, even what could have been dealt with there, someone has traveled to Kampala. Yes, so what has been public perception? Why are we still seeing these few cases?
So far, so good. I would say it is positive feedback. Clients today, we've reduced on the turn-up of clients at the Ministry of Public Service or even any other ministry. If you look at Kasese that is up and running, Entebbe, Jinja, these mini service centers, we are getting positive feedback. Back those days, you would find most of these ministries are congested. There is a traffic. People are seeking for services. Ministry of Health. Today, you see that we don't have toll-free lines for ambulances. We are hoping that if this is really, it's welcomed in society, you'll have a dispatch center, a call center in case of emergencies. If you want services about land information, all these, we have trained so far 42 personnel that are going to be interfacing with the clients out there. So we don't expect to see someone traveling from Kasese to come all the way to Kampala, looking for gratuity. They want to know their supplier number. All they have to do is to walk to the municipality, walk into the center, and they'll get all the information they need. So these centers, so far so good. We've not seen anyone complain about time taken. That has reduced. People out there have been worried about the red tape, bureaucracy, say government things, processes can delay because of the bureaucracy. That has all been eliminated. So today you walk into a center, someone will attend to you, tell them what your problem is, and you'll walk out satisfied with a smile.
Who are we targeting at him here?
The major client of the Service Uganda centers is the citizen. And that's why our services are citizen-centric. We look at the needs of our clients. What exactly they need is what we provide. And our intention is that even when we know that the issue, for example, at the Ministry of Public Service, if the issue is someone is not picking up their salary, we have to investigate and find out what reason exactly is underlying their issue, and then we modify our solutions and come up with systematic ways of solving their problems. If it's an issue of them not being validated, then that is what we will ensure that they are validated such that they can get their salaries. So our first client, the major client, is actually the citizenry. And with the establishment of the centers, we know that they will get their services affordably, they'll receive them conveniently. The other person to benefit from the Service Uganda centers is actually government, because government is mandated to provide these services to the nation. So government will benefit in that the credibility of government improves, like Kenneth has said, that red tape reduces, corruption reduces, and the people ultimately know that government is actually providing what they are supposed to provide. Also, government entities, the different institutions, for example, UNEB will also be beneficiaries of the Service Uganda centers, in that people will not have to travel to these institutions to receive the services. You can go to one center and receive your UNEB information. You can receive your operation wealth creation related information. If maybe you're a farmer and you would like to start fisheries in the lakes and you need clearance, you don't need to go to NEMA or the Ministry of Water and Environment. You can go to the one-stop center, make your application, and it will run through the system, and later you will receive a notification that actually you have gotten the approval without you having to travel from, let's say, Amolatar. You just go to the regional center and receive your services. And then also the private sector players like banks, internet cafes, mobile money agents will be beneficiaries of these centers, because we know when people are seeking services, some payment has got to be made. If you're going to renew your driver's license, you need to renew your national ID. Maybe you want to renew your passport, a payment has to be made. And so because of these financial transactions, even the public sector players will be beneficiaries of these one-stop centers.
Mm-hmm. Now, you've rightly talked about what exactly is there and the purpose, but for example, in terms of ministries, and here I want to bring in Kenneth, what are some of the services that one can get at these Uganda centers in terms of ministries? What could one hope for?
Thank you, Robert. That is a very beautiful question. When you come from the ministry where I serve, the Ministry of Public Service, the questions there will be, this is the mother ministry for all the other ministries. This is the ministry responsible for salaries. So what do you expect to get from the Ministry of Public Service? Pension information, number of staff government recruits, or the number of the size of the civil service, gratuity, records information. All this is in public service. When you move to our neighbors, the Ministry of Health, we expect them to give us services like ambulance or emergency services. We expect to get provision of health information, especially facilities that are within the nearest region. We need to know how many health center 4s are in a particular region, health center 3s, and where are they located. We need to know the pattern of diseases, the reoccurrence. When you go to the Ministry of Agriculture, we all know that Uganda, the backbone of Uganda has been agriculture. So what information do we need from the Ministry of Agriculture? We need to know weather patterns, the epidemics that are going to strike our farmers. We need to know the different chemicals, drugs that are on the market, which ones are authentic, which ones are not. They are cattle keepers in the country. They need to know what are the vaccines, what are the medicines, what are the chemicals for our animals, that even after they apply them on the animals, they won't affect the human being. Today, the hot cake of the country is land. We've seen land grabbing, all that. So when you walk to the Ministry of Lands, you expect to get information about land. The block numbers, the plot numbers where you seated, how big it is, who is the owner. You need to have information about private mile land. You need to know about any other land tenure. If you go to the Ministry of Water, we have services like National Water and Sewerage Corporation. You need to have information about that. How do I pay? How do I access this water? How much is used for domestic? How much is water for production? When you move to internal affairs, you have services there. We have the permits, work permits. We have passports. How fast can we get them? And I think most of these things have changed so far. Gone are the days where we used to line up on the old Petboard Road, lining up for passports and application. Today, if we have these centers, you walk in there, a person who came for pensions, you're attracted to walk to the internal affairs desk, at least apply for a passport. You're attracted to move to the desk of Ministry of Finance. Today, the country is having the PDM, Parish Development Model. You need to have information about it. How much money can I access? How much am I supposed to return at a given period of time? Do I need a supplier number? All these are services from the Ministry of Finance. When you go to the Ministry of Justice, Constitutional Affairs, you need to know your rights. What does the law say? Who is protected and who is not? What is the Constitution of Uganda saying? Has it been revised? Has it been repealed? All this information. So most of the services you'll find there, you say public service, you have pensions, salaries, finance, you have information about the different programs. Microfinance services, parish development model, supplier numbers. When you walk to Ministry of Health, what services are they giving us? They are telling us we have ambulances. These are the toll-free lines to reach the emergencies. This is the number of health facilities and the grade they are at which and where they are located. We walk to the Ministry of Lands, you have information about your land, the ownership about that land. Go to agriculture, they'll give you the weather patterns, they'll tell you what to expect as a farmer and what ingredients to use. Walk to foreign affairs, you need to know the different missions we have as a country. You need to get information about the opportunities out there. As you can see, most of our colleagues are going out there in the Middle East seeking for employment. You need all this information from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We have gender, the different vulnerable groups, the youth, elderly, women, all this information is from gender. You have the Ministry of Water. We've said we have the National Water and Sewerage Corporation. We have the wetlands. We've all seen that our road, Katonga, was washed away because of that. So if you need information, these early warning systems, we've seen our brothers and sisters living in Mbare, Bududa, where they've had multiple landslides. Someone needs to be there to give information, early warning systems. So government has come up with something that is citizen-centric. Everyone is privy to this information. You can get it as and when you need it. So ours is to deliver satisfaction with your tastes and preferences.
You've talked about the facilities offered here. And actually, I must say, this sounds so good to be true or to be real. One, even you know that in some agencies, just getting information, getting these services is very hard. Sometimes some are interlinked computer leakages, sometimes this linking between a team. How real? I don't have footage of these stop centers, but how real? How possible that I'll go to one place, I get to know what is happening in the tourism industry, I get to know what is happening in terms of tax revenue, I get to know what is happening in terms of education policies, expired degrees or not expired, I get to know how.
Well, thank you. Kenneth had earlier interluded that, we've trained 42 service providers in the different centers that we have already established. Now, these service providers are specialists in the different areas that they work. So when you walk into one of our centers, you have a specific person that handles everything that should have been handled in a ministry or that should have been handled by an agency. So this one person is able to provide you, for example, if it's on payments, they can make the assessment for you, assist you with your application on the system. And we've also integrated our systems thanks to support from the National Information Technology Authority, NITAU, such that the different websites of different agencies and ministries are integrated. You basically just click on one link and it takes you to the next level, and you're able to carry out whatever that you want to process. And then these local governments also have people that they've seconded to provide services in the regional centers. For example, if it's to do with salaries of teachers, we know that teachers are paid by the local governments. So you walk to the center and a person from the local government who understands the needs of the teachers will be able to attend to you. If it's about extension work, someone from the Ministry of Agriculture who is basically stationed at the regional center will be able to assist you. They know what disease has broken out in the country. They can be able to direct you to a veterinary officer who can assess your livestock, who can be able to give you a livestock movement permit. So there's no need for you to come to the center. You basically go to your regional service Uganda center and receive services there. We have centers all over the country, like I told you. The 19 are coming up, but we also have others that have already started. There's Entebbe, Jinja, Mbale, Lira. We have Kasese. Hoima is soon being launched, and Hoima is actually not a small center. It's a fully fledged center that is coming up to provide you with services. Maybe someone needs information on the oil and gas sector, and you know that the hub for this is in Hoima and Chikube, so you don't need to come to Kampala to maybe seek the services of the Petroleum Authority or the oil companies. Everything can be handled there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll be going for a short break, but when I return, we are still looking at establishment of Service Uganda centers. 19 of them, according to the guests I have today from public service, how you can just walk into one building, one structure, and by the time you leave, you have information from all government ministries, parastatals, and you're just good to go. It saves time, but also efficiency. Now, when we return, we'll be discussing more of how best to access these centers. And of course, we know most of people who are watching us, some are wondering, maybe you have issues of pension, gratuity, this, that. Well, you just have to know now what is nearest to me. The facilities are there. How possible, what the experience so far has been, is what I'll be focusing on in the next hour. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
The Resol Agribusiness Show is here under the theme Revolutionizing Agriculture through Value Addition, Innovation and Technology, scheduled for 13th to 16th June 2023 at Ruhinga Stadium, Fort Portal Tourism City, with a free medical camp running throughout the show. Entrance is totally free. To sponsor, partner and participate, contact 0702 301 059 or 0773 458 492 or 0773 301 059.
The Magical Egypt Tour 2023 is here. A heavenly miracle waiting across the natural and divine attractions of Egypt, such as Cairo, Giza Pyramids, Saqqara, Memphis, and many more that will offer the gift of a lifetime. The chance to unlock all of the hidden powers of mind and soul, gain the enlightenment of the past and the future, and develop the power of healing. Departure will be Friday 16th up to 23rd June 2023. Basic package starting at $1,200, 8 days and 7 nights. To register, come to Gotove Tours and Travel at Nalkwego Complex Suta, UG's Extender, George Street, Nakasero, or call +256 758 530 059 or +256 784 568 392 or WhatsApp +256 782 556 078. Only few slots are left. Powered by UBC Television.
naye ddala oyagala kuba akinga okuze
kuvuga ennyonyi
okakasa gwe Kayongo ovuga ennyonyi
usemesa kuvuga ennyonyi.
Uganda Aviation Expo 2023 mwoleso gwa nnyonyi nga guli ku kisaawe Entebbe. Leeta abaana balabe bayige ku misomo gy'ebyennyonyi naawe omusubuzi omutambuze oba oyagala okulambula Uganda jangu okuyingira shingira $5,000 ennyonyi ya $2,200 ate mwe abagala VIP $30,000 baasi zino zidaboddeeka zakubanona ku City Square ebusega ku Express Highway ne Nambole obutasukka ssaawa 7 otambulira bwereere amasomero agayigiriza abaana ebyennyonyi muleete abayizi mu Uganda Aviation Expo 2023 wali Entebbe ku kisaawe okuva nga 22 paka nga 24 June.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that break. Thank you for being with us. It is exactly 1:30 at the top of the hour, and what we are looking at is bring to your knowledge, creating awareness about the establishment of Service Uganda centers. Now there are 19 in the country, like my guests have said, and you do not have to waste time, also drive here, there, move here and there. You simply have to go into one particular area and you have all the information you need to know. Now, Kenneth, just a recap of these centers, where they are found, if you have them at your fingertips, or what, for my viewer to know basically, if I'm here, I go here. If I'm here, I go here. Then we shall proceed.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, our dear viewers. I'll start with the one in Entebbe. Physical location is at the Entebbe Municipal Headquarters.
Good.
So the services there include URA, tourism services, land registration. Those of us that are in the local governments and we are preparing to construct buildings, you need your plans approved by a physical planner, a municipal engineer. That information will be found at the Entebbe Municipality Service Uganda Center.
Okay.
When you come to Kampala, we have one at the Ministry of Public Service that is right here in Wandegea. So as you walk in there, you'll get all the services that Ministry of Public Service has to offer. We have one in Kasese, still at Kasese Municipality Headquarters. The same services Entebbe is giving, you will find in Kasese. What have we added in Kasese? You no longer have to come to Kampala to apply for a driving license. You will get it in Kasese Service Uganda Center. You want a TIN number, you will have a desk in Service Uganda Center in Kasese. You want to have information about Queen Elizabeth, the game park, there is a desk for you in Kasese. We have the new baby on board, that is the Hoima Service Uganda Center, also found at the municipality headquarters. Jinja, if we all know Jinja, where we used to have the old post office building, that is where the Service Uganda Center for Jinja is. Arua, you go to the municipality headquarters, that is where we find our Service Uganda Center. We shall be finding space in Mbale, still at the municipality headquarters. There are regions that are already asking for this service. After them benchmarking what is happening in Kasese, Rukunjiri is eager to have a Service Uganda Center. Kabale is eager to have a Service Uganda Center. All these regions I'm mentioning, if you listen to them properly and carefully, they are far hard to reach areas. Now they have seen the good of these centers. They are saying, please, we needed these centers as quick and soon as yesterday. So those that are up and running are Entebbe, Kasese, Jinja, Public Service, and now Hoima, Service Uganda Center.
Well, at least we know that others will be put in place. But team, now much as we want to promote efficiency and we want to promote service easily available and accessible, now where does this leave the initial structures of communication in these various agencies and ministries?
Thank you, Robert. The establishment of the Service Uganda centers does not take away the mandate of the different entities. Instead, the mandate is extended to the people. It does not take away the mandate of the different entities. If the Ministry of Health is mandated to provide health services, they are not taken away from the ministry. We basically just extend these services to the people. The intention is that when these services are provided in one single space, there's interlinkage, there are synergies. You have one person who can be able to provide services that would be provided by different entities. It becomes cheaper. As citizens, we pay our taxes and we require that our taxes should be used efficiently and effectively, that there should be value for the money that the citizen is paying in their taxes. So we would not be creating parallel structures. We are basically bringing these services to be provided in one place. It will be cheaper for the person that is receiving the services and also us who are providing the services. That I don't have to make several applications to different offices as the service recipient, and also me who is providing the services. If maybe 100 people came, I would be able to provide them with all the services that they require, the different needs that they have, be it salary, be it something about the environment, about wealth creation. It does not take away the mandate of the entity that is providing Operation Wealth Creation, the entity that is spearheading the parish development model. Their mandates remain. The ministry is basically helping us to establish these centers so that the services are closer to the people, and also to help the different entities to link up together and provide them where at the point of need, These services are basically supposed to be flexible, that if I went and I realized that my national ID is about to expire and my passport will soon be expiring, I can make these applications synonymously. I don't have to walk to one ministry, make an application, and then walk to another one and make the other application. By integrating these services, you basically enter your national identification number, and it brings all the information that regards you, and this information is transferred such that you can be able to make one application, and that information about you can be relayed to other entities. For example, we have our banks that have been requiring people to validate their fingerprints, update their biometrics. So when you've updated your biometrics, your bank will no longer require for you to enter your information. You walk in there and tell them, this is my national ID, and you transact. When you go to maybe renew your passport, you tell them, this is my national identification number, and everything about you comes through. You're able to complete your payment and receive the services.
Well, very interesting. Now this brings me to how equipped are these centers? Yes, we are talking about functional four? About 4. How equipped? And I'm just envisaging if you have a huge turn-up. You talked about 40 people that are being trained. These also seem fairly a low number. If we have the sufficient demand, I look at someone, know that I can get a passport, I can get a driving license when I've not traveled to Kampala and all that, knowing that I can check this, that. That means there would be, if people are really much so aware of their existence in these areas. Now those are cues that maybe you could have avoided. So how equipped both human resource and requirements?
Thank you, Robert. I can confidently say we are fully equipped. For anything to do with the government service, government is responsible for providing a desk, providing human resource, providing a machine or a computer where these services can easily be accessed. For our colleagues in the private sector, those that have seen the good of this service, most of them now provide the desk, they provide the human resource. Now what government does for that, we train them on how to deal with the clients. Well, they come with training, but when you come to government, we expect you to handle these clients a certain way. So when it comes to equipment, yes, we are fully equipped and up and running. Thank you, Robert.
This also brings me now, Atim, to economic benefits of these centers. We can just assume, but what do they give in? Because government invested. This is an investment still with government. The technology, the human resource. Can we in any way monetarily or quantify that for the time of existence? Maybe if you have statistics, I know Kenneth is a man of statistics most of the times, that we can say since establishment and operationalization, we've been able as government to quantify this amount of money into this. Or are we saying it is a process and process by process? Is there anything tangible or that we can quantify to say with the existence of these centers, this is what we've been able to achieve?
Thank you, Robert. What we could quantify is in terms of the numbers of people that have received services from these centers. For example, at the Ministry of Public Service, on a daily you have about 70 people that come to receive services. It basically fluctuates. But when you make an aggregate of the numbers that we attend to on a monthly, we're speaking of numbers of over 3,000 that would be seeking services from the Ministry of Public Service. And most of these people have come from up-country. And yet these services are also being provided up-country. So the quantity of benefit cannot rightly be placed, because someone who travels from Kotido to Kampala could be spending over 100,000 to come and receive the service. And another person who would travel maybe from Kayunga could spend 30,000 or 20,000 to receive their services. The benefit is to both the people as well as government. When we establish these Service Uganda centers, we are reducing the number of people that would be providing services in the different entities by bringing them to one place, and you have one person provide several services that are related in that single space. It doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to lose jobs, no. It's basically about us synergizing, us putting our resources together and ensuring that the services reach the person at the least cost possible and at the fastest rate, at the greatest quality that can be assured. Yes.
Now this brings me to Kenneth. The last time I had him on this show, we were so much into merger of agencies. Now in relation to that, here we are looking at a one-stop center, meaning there is so much that you could find there, but now we have it in one place.
Yes.
And I think that is a step in the right direction indeed.
Yes.
But when we look at public perception, how are we going to have a mindset change that a person can know that I don't have really to go to the Ministry of Health, to be honest. I find a retired servant who is in Kotido telling him that, but you see, you don't have to go to public service Kampala. You must come here. And that is what you reach a point and tell someone, you don't have to go to this gov because it's now merged, this can also deliver service.
Thank you, Robert. That is true. I would like to borrow a leaf from our sister country called Azerbaijan. They have what they call their sun model. And I believe that one day we are going to get to where they are. They have gone as far as having a bus that has all these services, has internet connection, Wi-Fi, they come up to the last homestead of any given county, district, municipality. For Uganda, the mindset is me and you. Today, we are talking about the Service Uganda Center. I'm here on TV, trying to sensitize the masses. You'll find me out there. I'll continue with sensitizing these masses about the Service Uganda centers. We've come as far as your municipality. We are saving you the trouble of traveling from Kasese to Kampala, traveling from Barara to Kampala, traveling from Gulu, Karamoja, coming to Kampala just to receive one service. So the sensitization we are doing, today we are on TV, tomorrow we shall be on radio. We shall make sure that we get to the last person in the municipality to sensitize you about government services that have come closer to you at your doorstep. All you have to do is to embrace them for efficiency.
Embrace them for efficiency. Well, that thinking of no, this won't do, I think I have to go there because it's the mother ministry or the service center are there for you, for operational, for running, and I've been assured by the guests I have today that we shall have a total of 19 of them, and these are one-stop center for you to be able to get all government services. But then also we go to effectiveness. How effective, for example, looking at the 4 that are operational, how effective are they? Because one of the things that I've always had a challenge, more so now that we went in that .com era, something called systems. You move into some place, because now I see there must be an interlink. Then they tell you the system is off. But maybe if you go to headquarters, you know, sometimes you go to some of these, the people there, we still have a very huge problem when it comes to customer care. People assume places and they assume kingdoms. So those 2 aspects on effectiveness, because there must be an interlinking system. I don't believe you're going to have someone from what I talked about 40 trained that have the knowledge, at least the basics about all these. So how effective are these centers in terms of being reliable, or trusted, and speed and fast?
Well, we had earlier talked about the people that have been trained. These are people that have been given specialized training on customer care, relationship management, and they also have this specialized knowledge on what exactly they are supposed to provide. So this is a person who will give you the service and be empathetic. They will not bark at you. They will not rush you when you need to fill a form. They'll let you have your time filling your form and then go through it with you, take you through how the process is supposed to be, and explain to you each and every step, such that when you leave, you know that it's going to take me maybe 2 days for maybe the passport to be worked on or whatever it is that you need, and then they will tell you that after the 2 days you can come back and get this. Or if it's something that can be handled there and then, they'll be able to attend to you and investigate what exactly the issue is and give you a solution there and then. I'd say that the NITAU, National Information Technology Authority, is spearheading the integration of our services. Basically, the Ministry of Public Service is the one that works on the services, but NITAU brings those services online. It brings those services and makes them electronic. So when you have the services of URSB, of URA, NITAU has integrated them in such a way that you go onto one system, one government face, one portal, and it will be able to link you to the different websites, the different services that are provided by these different agencies. So in a way, it's very effective, it's very efficient, and we don't have lapses in terms of the system. When you need the service, you'll be able to receive it there and then. The challenge is that there are Ugandans who are not computer literate. So we encourage these people to go to the regional service Uganda centers physically. There you can find a person who knows the system, who can support you and be able to help you through with it. People will say, I can't trust this person with this, that, and the other. You have your fingerprint. No one else can duplicate your fingerprint. So while someone is assisting you, you will be able to sign at the end of it, or you'll use your fingerprint. The information is secure. We have a national disaster recovery site. NITAU has made these, NITAU has made the safety of your information possible, such that when you enter your details, no one is going to maybe copy your NIN and use it to transact somewhere else. The system is seamless, it's very secure, so you need to go to your Regional Service Uganda Center and seek your services from there. Trust the system. Other centers will be set up. Other services are continuously being identified for integration, especially the ones that we know draw so many people, the ones that most of us seek for. Those are the services that we've gone ahead and put together. Kenneth had said that with Asan of Azerbaijan, they also have the caravan model. Now with the caravan model of Azerbaijan, they have gone as far as wedding people on the bus. Someone and their spouse that intend to get married, you can actually receive your marriage certificate, you can be wedded on that bus. So even with the Regional Service Uganda centers, the services that are being provided by URSB can be extended to you. You will not need to go somewhere else if you want to conduct your civil marriage, or you want to make the registration of your marriage possible. For people who have done the traditional marriage, you can go and register your marriage at the Regional Service Uganda Center instead of coming all the way to Kampala to the Business Facilitation Center. We are integrating with the different entities of government, the different institutions, such that you don't have to go to the headquarters of that entity. By just going to your Regional Service Uganda Center, you can access a wide range, a wide spectrum of services in one place. Thank you.
Well, very interesting, and of course time saving, money saving, yes, and very efficient and effective. I hope systems, when talked about NITAU, I hope we don't have those, because sometimes they disorganize people so much. But Kenneth, in the interest of time, I must let you people go. Let me have your concluding remark.
Thank you, Robert, and thank you, our dear viewers. We encourage you to embrace and welcome the service, the one-stop centers that we've been knowing. Some of you have seen supermarkets where you walk in and get each and everything you need for your home use. Well, guess what? Today, government is bringing all its services in one area for visibility, enhanced visibility, and client satisfaction. Thank you, and have a good day. And
finally, Atim, your parting shot.
I'd like to encourage our viewers to reach out to the Ministry of Public Service for your feedback. If you'd like to know more on Service Uganda centers, we have a toll-free line that you could contact. It's 0800 100 200, or the last 0, you could stroke it with 1 or 2. You'll receive information on Service Uganda centers, their location, and what other services you could receive in those centers in your region. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Kenneth. And of course, Jacqueline, Atim, thank you for your time. Well, this is an opportunity for you Ugandans. Let's embrace these established Service Uganda centers, the 4 that are operational, as we wait for others to make the number 19. It saves time, it saves money, it is quick. This analog way of saying, I must go to the headquarters, well, you still get what you want, but then it may not save you time and continuous movements. Imagine moving into one area and you can do a number of things, then walk out. If it's your driving license, worked on. If it is your passport, worked on. If it's registration of company, marriage, anything, it's worked on.
TIN numbers.
A TIN number, it's worked on. So it's a one-stop center. Look out for these centers. Our brothers in Hoima, Kasese, Entebbe, Kampala here at the service, at the Ministry of Public Service. I guarantee you, you will save time, you will save money, and fight bureaucracy. Here you will see one person. Therefore, you won't tell me go and see the manager who is not there, but because it is all encumbering. Well, thank you so much for your time. See you tomorrow, God willing. Have a lovely time. I know this is Take Back School Week. Please be also considerate owners of schools. Some parents may not have 100%, but be tolerant. Moreover, education is a right, so don't deny those children the right to education. God bless you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is